So, obviously, dead wrong. Loved LSU in this spot. Thought they'd win and win comfortably. Thought LSU is the more talented roster. Liked their opportunity to go on the road and get this win. All the things they're in. So I'll take all the darts. I deserve it. Wasn't the first time I was wrong. Won't be the last. So there's two things to talk about. One is the missed opportunities that cost you this game. Because, my goodness, did you have opportunities to win this football game. And number two is the bigger picture issues that, if not resolved, will cost you more games down the road and leave us all really cranky by the end of November. Let's start with Saturday, okay? And the missed opportunities in this game. It was such a good start. Such a good start. A perfect start. Ole Miss wins the toss. They take the football. You hold them to 3-and-out. They had not been held to a 3-and-out since the game against you last year in Baton Rouge to start the game. They had not gone 3-and-out to start the game since the game in Baton Rouge a year ago. Not only did you hold them 3-out in the first two series, 3-and-out, 3-and-out. All the things we talked about, Division II quarterback, not ready for Blake Baker's defense, all of that coming to fruition. Looks perfect. Right out the chute. Boom, boom. 3-and-out, 3-and-out. LSU on the second possession. First play of the second possession, Xavier Thomas. Boom, 50 yards. You're in business. Same thing. Their secondary can't cover. Arkansas put up 500 yards. All the narratives are spinning. Tigers get in the end zone. It's 7-0. They put together an 18-play drive and end up stalling for a field goal. And you're going, I'll give that up all day long. Okay. You want to dink and dunk your way down the field 18 plays to settle for 3? Fine. That ain't going to be good enough to beat LSU. Not with Ole Miss's defense. Talked about missed opportunities. My goodness. You're up 7-0. They get the field goal in the long drive at 7-3. You're right down the field again. Boom, 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 boom. You're at their 29-yard line at the start of the second quarter, and Garrett Nussmeier throws an interception. Horrible ball into coverage. When, by the way, LSU ran a double slant and Xavier Thomas was behind the safety. If Nuss just throws it back line into the end zone, Xavier runs under it, you're up 14-3, and they can't stop you. And the whole complexion of the game changes because Garrett throws it into coverage. Terrible decision, interception. I don't know that that's his torso injury. That's a bad decision. And after that, your defense gets a stop. And you trade punts, and then they start moving, and A.J. Halsey comes up with a massive play to force the fumble when it looked like they were going to go take the lead. And my goodness, what an opportunity. So you look up, and they get the ball with 6:49 to play in the first half. That offense, right? Lane Kiffin's offense has 3 points. 3 points. It's a 7-3 ball game with 6:49 to play it until halftime. And they would score twice in those final 7 minutes because your offense couldn't get a first down. Your offense can't run the football. Talk about missed opportunities. Their first touchdown drive, you gave them 50 yards of penalties. 2 PIs, a personal. By the way, they held on first down. It's 1st and 20. West Weeks hits Chambliss late. So instead of second, and he's incomplete, instead of 2nd and 20 backed up deep in a set with a 7-3 lead, now they get 15 yards out of their end zone. Boom, boom, PI. They're right down the field. By the way, DJ Pickett's pick 6 gets called back. It was legitimate PI, but he didn't need to. Chambliss was rattled. Receiver was cutting in. Chambliss threw it to the boundary. Pickett stepped up. Would have been a pick 6 either way. Could have been 14-3. You start to piece those together and you go, my goodness, all of the opportunities. Missed opportunity at points with Nuss's interception. Missed opportunity to pick 6 there with Pickett's pick 6 after the PI. You just had so many opportunities to take command of this game. Even after they score to go up 10-7, you get the ball at 4:53, And on the first play, and listen, you can criticize Joe Sloan, and we're going to talk about that here in a second, but give credit where it's due. 4-minute offense, 4:53, you're down 10-7, first play, beautiful design with everybody on Ole Miss's defense going to the left. Xavier Thomas catches the ball on the right. He is going to score. This is going to be an 80-yard touchdown, and he tightropes the sideline and barely steps out by, 3 inches? If he stays in bounds, 80-yard touchdown, house call, you got the lead right back. That place is silent. Instead, he's out of bounds. 3 plays later, you punt. And your defense, which is on the field for 49 plays in the first half because you can't run the ball, is right back out there. Credit Ole Miss. Beautiful 2-minute offense. They go score. It's 17-7 at half. I mean, the interception took away the possibility of 3 points. Xavier stepping out of bounds would have been a touchdown. Pickett didn't need to interfere. That would have been a pick 6. I mean, this could have been so much in your favor if you're playing a clean game, and you didn't. And then the second half was what it was. You had 2 short field opportunities where you settled for field goals instead of touchdowns. Nuss misses Hilton deep. And you still had a shot, and you allowed them to convert the 4th and 3 at the end of the game after Chambliss inexplicably went out of bounds. All that to say, I understand all of the bad, and we're going to talk about that because that's the bigger picture here. But even with all of the bad, you still had an opportunity to win this game. It was a 24-19 game. You lost by 5. I mean, you had opportunities to win this football game. But even if you had won the game, it would not have omitted all of the wrong. I say it all the time. Winning masks deficiencies, losing magnifies them. We are all today, after LSU lost, magnifying the deficiencies that some might explain away, like Brian Kelly tried to do after the Florida game when he yelled at Cobble. But the bottom line is, I think we all knew at the time that offensive performance was not acceptable. They were going to have to be better. I, hand in the air, was willing to say I understood being a little sluggish offensively against Clemson and Florida, being a little cautious, because that's what you had to do to beat those teams with really good defensive fronts. Make no mistake, Ole Miss is not a good defensive front, which shines a massive spotlight on how bad you were on the line of scrimmage, because other than Centarian Perkins, I don't know that there's anybody in that defensive front that's getting drafted. And you couldn't block them. Which brings you to the big picture issues. If you're sitting here today and you want to blame Brian Kelly because he didn't have this team ready to play, didn't have a good plan, whatever, fine, blame Brian Kelly. Yes. If you're sitting here today and you want to blame Joe Sloan because of this scheme that put up 256 yards, 59 on the ground against a team that was the worst run defense in the SEC, allowing just under 200 rush yards per game on average, yes, blame Joe Sloan. He deserves all the blame today. You want to blame Brad Davis because you got an offensive line that can't run block? Yes, blame Brad Davis today. That's fine. You want to blame the offensive line for not improving? You want to blame Garrett Nussmeier for bad decisions? Yes, everybody. There's tons of blame to go around. Wherever you want to lay it today, it's warranted. Ultimately, whoever you want to blame, I know this truth. LSU has got to find a way to improve on the offensive line, because it is literally the thing that we have talked about since literally the first day of spring. I went back and checked today, practice report from March 12th, first day of spring. The first thing we looked at was who were the starting 5 offensive linemen. 5 new starters. By the way, Bo Bordelon was running with the first team at right guard the first day of spring. How about that? And DJ Chester was playing center. Mabenga was your left guard. Adams and Davis were the tackles, first day of spring. Went back and checked today. It was March the 12th. We've literally been talking about this thing since then. And people are surprised, but we have literally been talking about this thing since the first day of spring all the way through fall and now through the first month. You lost 5 starters on the offensive line. And the ones that you have playing right now are not playing nearly good enough for you to be able to be a complementary offense to a championship team, because your defense is really damn good. And there's a lot of people looking at the yardage LSU get. Yeah, when you're on the field for 84 plays, you're going to give up a lot of yards. They gave up 24 points. That defense giving up 24 points against Ole Miss should have been plenty enough to obliterate that. Arkansas scored on their first 4 possessions against, by the way, Arkansas, who just got the crap kicked out of them by Notre Dame, scored on their first 4 possessions in that stadium against that defense. That is a bad Ole Miss defense, comparatively. And you put up 256 yards and 19 points. You have got to figure out a way to get this offensive line improving and this run game going. Cole Kublik was here before the season, and I asked Cole point blank, hey, why couldn't LSU run the ball last year? Remember what Cole said? This is what Cole said on this show.
I don't think that offensive line could not run block last year. I don't think that offensive line was given a fair chance to be good run blockers last year.
By the way, Cole's whole point was you got to make a commitment to running the football. So far through 5 games, LSU has run the football 147 times. That is the fewest in the SEC. There are teams that have run the ball 140 times, a couple 125 times, but they've only played 4 games. LSU's played a full game more. Attempts per game, lowest in the SEC. You had 9 first-half rushing attempts against Ole Miss. Only 2 of them were running backs. Juwan Johnson had 1 carry for -1. Caleb Jackson had a 10-yard run on a 3rd and 20. And that was against the worst rush defense in the Southeastern Conference, and you didn't even try to establish the run. You've got to be able to run the football, and you've got to be able to protect Garrett Nussmeier. Ole Miss for the bulk of the game, and you don't have to be a football savant. You don't have to be sitting there breaking down X's and O's. Watch the game. Greg McElroy pointed out the whole damn game. Ole Miss was running 3- and 4-man fronts. Same thing Louisiana Tech did. Why? If LSU's not going to run against a 3- or 4-man front, drop 7-8 in coverage. You want to know why quarterback struggles? You got 3 or 4 receivers going out into a pattern, and I got 7 or 8 defensive backs. Every single guy going out on a route is double covered. Good luck finding. Why isn't anybody open? Thought these receivers were good. Everyone's double covered. Everyone. So why don't you run the ball? Because you can't. Why not? Great question. Look, it didn't help that Weston Davis got hurt in pregame warmups, and you had a true freshman at right tackle. It didn't help that Paul Mabenga got hurt in the second drive of the second half. There is no excuse to be this bad. Like, again, I want to reiterate, Ole Miss was allowing nearly 200 rush yards per game. Kentucky ran it for $170 against them. Tulane ran it for $180 against them. You ran 22 times for 59 yards. 59 yards. You have got to commit to running the football, or this will be a massive disappointment of a season. You have enough talent on both sides of the ball to be awesome, to be a playoff team, to win, to beat any team you play. Because look around the conference. Bama gets dump trucked by Florida State. They go to Georgia and win. Tennessee looks great at times. They needed overtime to beat Mississippi State. Where's the dominant team in the league? Where's the dominant team in the country? Oh, it was supposed to be Penn State. They just lost in overtime to Oregon. Like, where? Oh, it's Ohio State. Ohio State got caught in a quagmire the opening week against Texas where they put up like 250 yards. Like, there is no dominant team, which is a great thing because you can improve and have great opportunity. But the key is improving. In a month into the season, I can't say that I've seen LSU's offensive line improve a lick. And if they don't get better, and Joe Sloan doesn't commit to running the football, to take pressure off of Nussmeier, make defenses commit players to the box, all the things that are very natural and obvious, then you're going to win games, but you're not going to be a playoff team. And we're going to be sitting there in November with watching a 3-4 loss team and massively disappointed because of all of the hype around this team, the financial investment, and what could be if you play at your best. But they got to take this week off to get healthy and figure out a way that they can commit to running the football, because unless they do, you're going to see more of this. You'll win games. You'll have nice wins. You'll have really nice wins. Remember in 2022, Kelly's first year? Ugly against Florida State, got blown out by Tennessee. They also beat undefeated top 10 Ole Miss, beat Alabama. You'll have really good days, but there's not going to be enough really good days to get you the result you want at the end of the season, unless if you figure out how to make some commitment to running the football. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.